George R.R. Martin got the ultimate participation trophy. Let's all clap for George R.R. Martin for not finishing his book. Just say positive things, guys. We need a culture of positivity here. That's so ridiculous. And we'll get into this news in just a moment. Yes, this is the picture. He's looking real old, guys. I just started noticing that today. Not a good sign for the Winds of Winter. Not a good sign for Game of Thrones ever getting finished. And we will talk about the real fantasy news here on my channel. Guys, I am a fantasy and science fiction writer myself, and I'd love for you to check out my fantasy series. It's called The Adventures of Baron von Monocle, and I am on the wrong page. But hey, let's go to the right page and try to hit this up right here. This is for Steam and Country, where it all starts. It's a 6-book series about an airship crew that actually goes out and adventures, swashbuckling stuff, fighting monsters, and embroils itself in a awesome war that builds up so nicely over the series. You're going to love this. Thank you guys for making this a perennial bestseller. It's in the description below. And yeah, you can guarantee that I'm going to come out with some more books well before George R.R. Martin comes out with any books in his popular series. So grab this. It's available on ebook, print, and audio. And thank you guys for being here. All right. So George R.R. Martin has a couple of no good, very bad years. That's right. Fans increasingly are getting savage in their mockery of his inability to complete the Winds of Winter, and he's been lashing out on his blog as a result. Now he's posted a photo of a fan-driven effort to send positive messages to the author of Game of Thrones to remind people that fans still love him. Oh, so joyous, so nice. Dear George. So ridiculous. This is the craziest thing I've maybe ever seen on the internet. And him posing and taking a picture with this as if it's like some kind of like award is really, really funny on this level. Winds of Winter, as you know, is likely never to get completed in George R.R. Martin's lifetime. After ending a Game of Thrones on HBO, it soured fans and the entire series. He became somewhat of a recluse about the topic, dodging whether he would ever have the manuscript completed anytime soon. It's been more than a dozen years since it was due, and it seems it's no closer to the book becoming a reality than it did back then. If anything, Martin appears to have given up on it. He's been talking about just how hard it's been over the last couple of years. He, in 2023, famously made a blog about toxic fans and how it's making it unfun to do anything anymore. Ridiculous. I love my people. I don't know. I don't have that problem. They just encourage me, and then I get my work done. It's not that hard, you'd think. But this is a pretty interesting situation. George R.R. Martin has those like gamma male tendencies about him, and he knows that he wrote himself into a corner that he can't write out of. There's just no possible way to make a book that's worthy of concluding this series at this point. He has opened up to far too many perspective characters, pushed things off in wildly different directions, actually removed all the characters that were interesting from the board that people liked. And so he's got himself in a rut to where he just cannot win. Now, from my sources, they told me that the Game of Thrones ending that Hollywood actually put out there was what the book ending was actually supposed to be. He was contractually obligated to give them that information because the show caught up to where he was at when he didn't want that, and he didn't like having to do that. He wanted to keep that private, of course, and he couldn't do that with his obligation there, so he gave that to them, and that's what caused his little dust up with hating Hollywood people and the like, as he obviously passive-aggressively rants about these people quite a bit as well. But he's gotten worse this year. He lashed out on a blog a while back. This is the end of May, as he's talking about yet another new project he's working on that's not the Winds of Winter, because why would he work on the Winds of Winter? He's got so many interesting other things to do. He's got a bar to run in New Mexico. He's authoring physics papers. He's now working on a Hercules animated movie. This is definitely the worthwhile stuff that he should be doing, not finishing his epic that is something that could have stood the test of time if he actually did it right. But again, I just think he made a story that's unfinishable. It's not going to be any good. Probably will take another 5 or 6 books to finish when another author comes in after he dies, probably, and does write this for him. It's not going to be doable in 2 books or 1 book or whatever it is, and he knows that, and that's where it is. I know. Some of you will be pissed off by this, as you are by everything I announce here that's not about Westeros or the Winds of Winter. You have given up on me or the book. I will never finish Winds. If I do, I will never finish A Dream of Spring. If I do, it won't be any good. Well, in his little, passive-aggressive ranting, he's kind of honest. This is all true. I ought to get some other writer to pinch hit for me. Yes, I am going to die soon anyway because I'm so old. He is looking at guys. It's a bummer. All right. I lost interest in A Song of Ice and Fire decades ago. He did, as soon as Hollywood got to that point. I don't give a shit about writing any longer. I just sit around and spend my money. I edit the Wild Cards books too, but you hate Wild Cards. You may hate everything else I've ever written. Hugo winners, Hugo losers. Look at how he mentions all of his awards. Even in this, he's grandstanding about how important he is other than this stuff. Just to be out there and be like, I'm so important. And Dangerous Women, this like anthology he edited, which was all about the strong female lead in pushing in the feminism into culture, which has really wrecked culture over the last several years. That is that anthology right there was a big tipping point. Gosh, I should write an essay on that. And all the other anthologies I edited with my dear friend Gardner Dozois, you don't care about any of those. I know. You don't care about anything but Winds of Winter. You've told me so often enough. The thing is, I do care about them. I care about Westeros and Winds as well, the Starks and Lannisters and Targaryens. Yeah. So that's it. Obviously, he was lashing out at fans who, whenever he's announcing something new, they all pile on the comments, and rightfully so. Why is he starting another new project and not just finishing the thing that was due 12 years ago? It's a great question every time, and the answer is he's not going to finish it. He can't. He's paralyzed. He knows he's written himself into a bad spot where it's just not tenable. He knows he can't get himself out of it, and he also knows that he is so old at this point, he has lost his fastball in terms of his ability to write. It's really a bummer for him and really a bummer for the fans because, unfortunately, he just wouldn't finish things up when he still had the capability to do so about 10 years ago. Really wild. So he says all this. And so this is pretty interesting. So fans have come together, apparently feeling bad for all the flack he's taken online, compiling messages of positive support. This is Pure A Song of Ice and Fire, it's called, this group. They created a Google document encouraging fans to say nice things about Martin. Now, this is like a 5-year-old's who got bullied in class. Like a teacher comes to the kids afterwards and goes, will you just go say nice things about him and I'll let this go and you won't have any more demerits? And then the kids are forced to like give their, okay, well, you have nice ears, really nice ears. I bet they hear really well. Okay, is that good, Mrs. Martin? Is that good enough? About how much they care about him and his work. And then rather than the deluge of mockery he generally receives on the topic, the forum says, say something nice to George. Curious, George. Just say something nice to him. Like I said, it reads like we're treating this guy like he's a 5-year-old who needs a participation trophy. Even though he struck out every pitch at the plate, at least he showed up. Well, in this instance, I guess the analogy is more like he showed up, he kind of quit before the last inning and said, I'm going to go play flag football instead over here. And then like left the game and everybody's waiting on the game to finish because he's at bat and he's supposed to be there. And everybody just keeps waiting and waiting and waiting rather than just giving up on the game. That's what's happening here. Say something nice to George. That's what's going on. So organizers spoke on it, saying nearly 1,000 letters we received, 1,000 people decided to give him this participation trophy. Fewer than a dozen were overly negative or trolling. The vast majority were genuine, well-wishing, and thanks, which was amazing to see and directly contradicts the notion that A Song of Ice and Fire's fan community is toxic, aggressive, and bitter. By the way, it's okay to be laughing at something not happening because of somebody's incompetence and doing poorly. And when things go badly, and when, they always do this with the Star Wars community and Marvel community and whatever. If Star Wars sucks now, and you just say it sucks, you're not being toxic. You're just giving your honest review and opinion of things. And this is all a gaslight attempt, of course, pretending like it's all A-okay. And these people are hoping, with their like weird delusional selves, that say something nice to George will make him so happy that he's going to start writing a song of, this is their like back in their minds. He's going to start writing it again. This is going to encourage him to finish it. It's not. It's not going to do anything. So author Larry Correia actually said, I wonder if mine is in there. And what he's referring to is he just finished his epic fantasy series, and he actually wrote in the dedication of it, to George R.R. Martin, it's not that hard, as the dedication to the hardcover book out there, which of course is just mocking the fact that he can't complete this. Pretty funny right there. But this is all ridiculous, and it's certainly not going to help George R.R. Martin finish this anytime soon. like I said, I don't believe he's going to finish it. I can't believe they not only had this like online forum where people would write nice things to him, but they printed them all out and got it leather bound and shipped it to him. And not only that, but then he then went out and took a picture with it going like, I'm proud of my participation trophy. Look at me, everybody. My fans like me. Gosh golly. It's really pathetic. And this is the absolute state of traditional publishing. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Please grab For Steam and Country and get the whole series. It really builds up nicely. It's in the description below on ebook, print, and audio. Thanks for reading, being a part of our community, my friends. And yeah, thanks for saying nice things all the time, because I actually do write my books and get them done. Imagine that. Later.